This mission is extremely confidential. The spy could be anyone. Let no one know of our mission.
Understood, sir.
As we started into the development of the second part of the first season stories, George was really getting involved in the writing process. And this one story, he thought, what would be great to do a story about a clone that goes bad.
Someone left his comlink on. Someone has been listening to everything we said.
And that's how we got the hidden enemy.
Hey, stop!
We had an episode where we had a traitor, Captain Argaius, in the Cloak of Darkness. He debates with the clone, Commander Gree, that he wanted a life with more than empty servitude.
A clone like you would never understand.
However, we find out in The Hidden Enemy that there are clones that would betray the Republic. They go kind of what I like to refer as they go a little bit Django. They are a little bit too much like Jango Fett in their unpredictability and ability to improvise.
I really wish you hadn't noticed that, sir. It's Slick? Slick's the traitor?
Slick doesn't appreciate the structure of the society the clones have. He accuses the Jedi of using the clones.
It's the Jedi who keep my brothers enslaved. We do your bidding.
This doesn't sit well with Slick. He's offered something more by Ventress, and he decides to betray the Republic. He thinks he's doing it for his brothers.
But I was striking a blow for all clones.
So it's a divergent view from the rest of the clones, and one that's very upsetting to Rex and Cody. It was nice to see Cody and Rex once again working together. They know the tendency of the clones because they are one of them.
Hey there, Slick. Gun's empty.
And that makes some things easier and it makes some things more difficult.
Move! Move! He knows all our moves before we even make them.
Christophsis was a very, very ambitious environment to pull off the first time. This was a chance to go back and revisit a place that we'd been before and make it feel more expansive. The Republic base, that's sort of the main setting for Hidden Enemy, had been in the script, and George said he wanted to see a base, so a base is what it was. Originally, it was supposed to really just be 2 huts. That turned into 8 huts, that turned into 8 huts in a command center, that turned into 8 huts, a command center, a power generator, and then we had a wall around it. It just kept getting bigger and bigger. We still reused the sort of overall Death Star feeling stuff. The command center is the same geometry we saw in Trespass. This is meant to be the same Republic Army technology at work. When you see the same doors and the same corridors and the same ships over and over again, you just go, oh, well, that's because, it's all the same army. Of course they'd just fly that stuff somewhere else. They wouldn't build it again.
The droids are onto us!
One of the fun things I always like to talk to the directors about is how we can make this way more exciting than what we've read in the script.
We need an evac in the South Tower.
Roger that, South.
There was a really exciting scene in the beginning. Anakin's in one building and Obi-Wan's in the other.
South Tower. We're in the north.
Not for long.
I really wanted to amp this up, and let's have Anakin break the glass, shoot a cable, zip line over to the next building.
Blast them!
The directors really bring that kind of visual imagination that they blend with the writing to make it a great Star Wars moment.
Come and get me, boys.
You didn't tell us you were bringing friends.
Apart from Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ventress, which are characters we already have, it's clones. Lots and lots of clones. We still have to come up with new hairdos or facial hair or armor designs, but most of what was new for Hidden Enemy were sets. The most insidery thing about Hidden Enemy is that the mess hall is very deliberately modeled on the dining area at Big Rock Ranch. The proportions are the same, the layout's the exact same. It's just one of those goofy things I threw in that somehow made it all the way through.
The only people in here are brothers.
A hotly debated thing was Chopper, one of the clones, you think is the guy that's the traitor.
Where were you before you went to the nest, Chopper? Nowhere.
You find out that he's been stealing battle droid fingers and making a little necklace.
I just wanted something back. I guess I felt like they owed me.
It's to try and hook up with the idea of soldiers cutting off ears or fingers or keeping some kind of memento. If I were Obi-Wan and Anakin, I'd loop back around and ask that guy a couple more questions, because that's a little weird.
Your whole character's in question here. Wait, no. Hang on. I'm no spy.
Hidden Enemy is another piece of seeing the clones more as individuals. Clones aren't so repeated cookie cutter as you might think.
Go! Go!
Which will put pressure on the entire Order 66 question.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Yes, my lord.
Who executes that order? Do they all execute that order? What happens if a clone chooses not to execute that order? I think the Revenge of the Sith style clones are different than the clones at the beginning of the war, mainly because of the influence of the Jedi over them. And as that influence changes, the demeanor of the clones themselves changes as well.
We're back, General.
Good. The show is about to begin.
Something a lot of people are curious about with the Clone Wars is how are these stories taking place and what chronology? Hidden Enemy is a prequel to the Clone Wars movie.
They're back!
It's a prequel to the prequel of one of the prequels. And there's a prequel to this episode that's going to air at some point too, so I've lost count of how prequeled we are now, but Hidden Enemy is a prequel to what we see in the opening of the Battle of Christophsis.
It's the setup that Ventress was around,
Prepare to march on the city.
but she knows Anakin and Obi-Wan have been lured to this planet, so we see her heading towards the ship that she then captures Rada the Huttlet in the beginning of the Clone Wars movie, the big squid ship. So we see why Anakin and Obi-Wan are in such a fix, because this guy Slick betrayed them and left them in a pretty bad way.
There are about 1,000 battle droids on their way here.
Fight goes on, gentlemen.